All right, calling this meeting to order. It's 12:34. I'm going to do roll call. Mr. Allett?
Present.
Mr. Baltimore?
Here.
Ms. Daniels?
Present.
Ms. Hodges?
Present.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Majors?
Here.
Ms. Williams?
Here.
Good afternoon, Council. As the organizational meeting by statute, the Solicitor's Office begins the meeting until the President is elected, who then takes chair. So with that, there are some reorganizational rules that I will go through regarding nominations and election of the President of Council. Members of Council may move to nominate a candidate. Any member may. The motion must have a second before there could be a vote. The movement may give their reasons why they nominate the candidate, and the candidate may say anything they wish in response. You may nominate yourself as a candidate, but you may not nominate and then second yourself. After the motion and the second, the candidate will be asked if they accept the nomination. Each council member will have the opportunity to make any other nominations. So when we're done and there's a nomination, we'll open the floor to see if there are more. After all nominations have been made by motion, you will enter into voting. Voting will be done randomly, and the city clerk will pick names out of a hat, and the members selected will vote. You must vote for one of the candidates. You may not pass or abstain. There will be 3 rounds of voting for each nominee. If no one receives 4 votes, then you will vote again. If after 3 rounds of voting, no one receives 4 votes, you will begin all over again with nominations. After the council president is elected, then the council president shall take over presiding at the nominations for the vice president. Having said that, is there any questions from any council member on the process that we're going to file, any clarification anyone requires? If not, I would open the floor to nominations.
We can do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Excuse me?
We didn't do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Invocation, pledge allegiance. We can.
Sure, I don't have an agenda in front of me, I just have my instructions. So, but,
Would anyone like to do the invocation?
I'll do it. It's fine.
so-
As we start a new year in both leadership within the cities, this is happening across the county as well, and with district justices. Let's pause for a minute and keep our newly elected leaders and our continually elected leaders in thoughts and prayers as we enter a new year.
And then with that, we'll go to the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Councilmember Allett. And with that, we'd open the floor to, do we have a nomination for the position of President of the Harrisburg City Council for the 2016-2017 term?
Yes, I would like to nominate Wanda Williams for the presidency.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a nomination and a second. Would the nominating council member like to say anything?
Yes, I believe Councilwoman Wanda Williams has years of experience, familiarity with the rules, and her commitment to public service over the years is invaluable to this body.
And would Councilwoman Williams like to say anything?
No, thank you.
Does it accept the nomination?
Do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Are there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'd ask the clerk to,
You have to do it one more time.
okay.
3.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Mr. Allett?
Yes.
Mr. Baltimore?
Yes.
Ms. Daniels?
Yes.
Ms. Hodges?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Majors?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
That's 7 votes confirming Council President Williams as the Council President for 2016 and 2017.
Congratulations.
Thank you to my council members. It certainly is a memorable position to be in. I have 2 more years left. I've been on council 10 years, and I have a lot of work to do, and this administration has a lot of work to do. And I hope and pray that we can become a unified council and work towards continuously moving this city forward. Thank you so much for your support. I truly, truly appreciate it.
Vice President.
The meeting is yours, Council President.
Pardon me?
The meeting is yours.
Thank you. Moving on to the election of council vice president for the year 2016 to 2017. At this time, the nominations are open for vice president. Do I have any nominations for vice president? I personally would like to nominate Shemaine Daniels.
Second.
May I have a second, please?
I will second that.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there?
I would like to nominate Jeff Baltimore for vice president.
Jeff Baltimore, for vice president, second.
I'll second.
There's a second. Is there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Nominations are closed. Mr. Baltimore, do you accept?
Yes, I accept.
Ms. Daniels, do you accept?
Yes.
Would you like to make a speech, or make a comment, Mr. Baltimore?
Not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Daniels?
No, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Petrosky, please call the votes.
All right, the voting will take place in a random order. When I call your name, you would either state that you're voting for Ms. Daniels or Mr. Baltimore. Ms. Hodges.
Miss Daniels.
Mr. Majors.
Mr. Baltimore.
Ms. Daniels.
Miss Daniels.
Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Baltimore.
Mr. Baltimore.
Mr. Baltimore.
Ms. Williams.
Ms. Daniels?
Mr. Allett.
Good grief. That is not one of the nominees, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
Heads or tails?
Oh. Good grief. I will go with Ms. Daniels.
That will be 4 votes to 3, making Ms. Daniels the Vice President of City Council for the years 2016 and 17.
Congratulations, Ms. Daniels.
Thank you.
At this point, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Can we make
Oh, I'm
comments?
sorry,
Is that
I'm
all right?
sorry, I'm sorry, forgive me. Ms. Daniels, would you like to make a comment?
No, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Alex.
I just make a comment. This is this process is bewildering at times to go through, and it comes down to a concept of leadership. And on this body, I'd like to consider us all leaders. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. And so, I don't take this process lightly. And quite honestly, I even got befuddled in the final 2 because 2 of my favorite people I've worked with are both Shemaine and Jeff on this body. Shemaine and I pounded on so many doors together to get on here, and I've respected her leadership. And if you pay attention to votes, we don't always vote alike, but we have a lot of respect for each other. And then for Jeff, you know, he's become such a great friend and ally on this body too that I actually was unprepared to be put in that position to have to decide between 2 people that I care and respect for both, so much so. But we're at a larger time in council history, and that does call into the concept of what is leadership and what do we do, and how do we interact both with each other, with the administration, and with the community. As leaders, we are called to make very, very difficult decisions. And that is something we have to do on a very regular basis. And What I would like to challenge my colleagues, at all level on this body, is that that we work towards solutions, because ultimately that's what we're supposed to do. And that means sometimes we have to make some difficult decisions. But when we work towards solutions and we work with each other, we can have rigorous debate, and I hope that we do, because that's part of it. But more than anything else, I hope that we have the ability to work with each other, that it's not personal, that it's not a time for attacking either one of us or anyone on this body, but that we can be part of what's going to make this city better. Because ultimately, that's why we're here. We would not have run if we didn't want that. We would not be in this seat, and I promise you, no one would want some of the headaches that we have to deal with on a regular basis if we didn't want to face it head on. So that's all I really wanted to say. I appreciate everybody on this body. We have our work cut out for us, and it's going to start busy, and it's going to stay busy throughout. But congratulations to the newcomers. It is great to see everybody here, and I look forward to working with each and everybody on this body.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Council members, please remember there's orientation for the new council members. And also, if you have a few minutes, we certainly need to take a few minutes to speak with me. I need to bring you up to date on some of the things that's really going to be happening in the next 2 weeks. Mr. Grover, I certainly would appreciate if you would also be in attendance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else? Nothing else? Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.